What's up, guys? What's going on YouTube? How's everybody today? So today I want to talk about a band called Zombi. Zombi's 2006 album released on Relapse Records called Surface to Air. Zombi is a, I don't know, space rock, electronic, prog rock, instrumental band from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And yeah, like it's a duo. It's just two guys, a guy playing bass and synthesizers, bass and keyboards, and another guy playing drums and keyboards. Essentially a synthesizers and a drum and bass band, heavy on the synths though. And they play really cinematic instrumental music with a lot of, you know, influence from artists like 70s soundtrack artists like Job Carpenter movies, and like this composer named Goblin. I have a few Goblin records I could probably review in the future, and they take a lot of prog elements from bands like Tangerine Dream and Rush. You know, I heard they sound like early Genesis. I haven't really listened to any early Genesis and stuff too. And they also sound like this French band called Tourzy, and they sound like Trans Am. I already have a Tourzy review up. I'll probably review Trans Am a little bit in the future. Trans Am's pretty tight. I don't mind their stuff. But yeah, 2006 album, Surface to Air, and all it is like pretty much horror movie soundtracks on here. Like very heavy on the synth, lots of looping synths, and layered in like, you know, bassline loops and like, you know, kind of what are those drum patterns called? Polyrhythmic drums. Sorry, it's been a really late night. I had to go to like this going away party, and I really try to get these reviews out a little earlier so I'm a little more coherent, but just bear with me. But yeah, the two members of the band is drummer A.E. Patera and bass player Steve Moore. Zombi, they're pretty much a little they're a fairly popular underground band for, like, you know, it's Relapse, so it's not that underground. And they've done tours with the likes of, you know, Dalek, this kind of Dalek kind of plays this really kind of avant-garde, dark, kind of heavy metal, hip-hop type shit, kind of abstract, and they've done tours with ISIS and Trans Am and Dillinger Escape Plan, These Arms Are Snakes. It's kind of hardcore band called Daughters. And yeah, it's very atmospheric, very dark, you know, complex rhythms, very atmospheric, has a very strong 70s and 80s like horror movie feel and stuff. Like some of these songs sound like they came directly out of like, you know, Dawn of the Dead movies and stuff. Definitely music that's not really for everybody, but if you're a fan of like old horror movies and soundtracks of that, you could totally dig this. I got into Zombi right away because I read that they took a lot of influence from artists like old 70s horror movies and the composer known as Goblin. So I checked it out and I really liked it. This album is only 5 songs long, but they spread the 5 songs over 44 minutes, sorry. So it's pretty long epic tracks. It's like pretty heavy on the epic, heavy on the looping and stuff. So it kind of demands a lot of your attention and has a lot of, you know, a lot of patience on you, but it's actually the kind of thing that would reward you. But if you're any kind of metal fan and is expecting, you know, big riffs and like aggression and stuff, like this doesn't fit any kind of metal template at all. Like it hardly has any metal in it except for like maybe the ominous like dark vibe that it has. But other than that, it's pretty much just experimental prog music. But yeah, I guess there's not really a lot to say about it. It's pretty, well, I don't want to say basic stuff, but that's pretty much the premise of the album right there. The way these guys write the music is, I guess, Steve Moore will just come up with like some sort of simple synthesizer programming or like a drum beat or a bass line or something, just some like skeletal little part of a song, and then he just brings it to Patera and he fleshes it out a little more. It's pretty much how they write their music. They said they're perfectionists and stuff, and that really pertains well to their sound and vibe and music and stuff like that, because they just try to make everything as long as they can and flesh it out as much as possible. And this album does have a few surprises and twists and turns on it. Like the songs aren't at all straight ahead. They are, like I said, polyrhythmic and stuff, and lots of synthesizers layering, and like they both play synthesizers at the same time and just program different things and stuff. So it does take you on very much so in a little cinematic mental journey in your head. You could actually have your own little zombie movie playing around in your you know, mind's eye. The artwork's pretty cool too. These are all stills of the Earth taken by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the U.S. Geological Survey and Earth Resource Observation and Sciences Layout. So all these are just pictures of weird terrain taken from space and stuff. It's pretty good artwork on here. There's pictures like straight ahead mountains and stuff like that. Makes it cool, like little texture and colors and stuff. It's pretty pretty to look at. Complements the music pretty well. There's a picture of them in their jam space. It's pretty much how they get down, I guess. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. A lots of amps and chords, drums and keyboards, and they're all authentic, I guess, vintage keyboards too. Like they're just analog synths they're using, stuff they used in the 70s and 80s a lot. So there's nothing like laptops or high tech here. They're all actually making the music by hand and stuff. They're not just using like music programmed and just to make the music for them. These guys are just crafting it themselves, you know. It's authentic, I guess, which just kind of complements it. But like I said, this music definitely won't be everybody. Like if you don't like soundtrack music or orchestration or instrumentals or, you know, prog rock in general, probably wouldn't dig this at all. But if you do dig like horror movie soundtracks, you like proggy stuff and music that's just instrumental, no vocals and stuff that's really long and epic and takes you on a little journey, a mental journey, it's pretty cool. But yeah, from Pittsburgh, Zombi's 2006 album. They have an album that came up before this called Cosmos, and one that came after this called Spirit Animal. They've been releasing albums since 2002. And yeah, Surface to Air, Relapse record, Zombie 2006, pretty cool stuff. I enjoy it.